Well, it's that time of year again to start thinking about updating some thrift store finds into some ghoulish pictures. So I had this one that somebody had actually donated to me. So it was a beautiful oil painting in a frame. Actually, I was going to keep the frame and throw away the picture, but I thought, you know what? Why not give it a holiday themed update? Super easy to do. Grab any kind of paint that you have on hand. Of course, I paint furniture, so I've got chalk paint on hand. But you know what? This would work with those little dollar acrylic paints that you get at the craft store or any kind of paint. It doesn't really matter. Go find an old picture at the thrift store. Look through your own stuff. Anything will do. I have about 6 of these scene pictures in my back room. And I just picked this one because I thought it'd be kind of cool with the people that were in it. All we're going to do is take this from a daytime. It looks like a kind of like a market scene. The little boy is carrying 2 bags. I just painted them into pumpkins. The people are gathered in the middle of the buildings. The sky is blue in between the buildings. The buildings are white. But it took me about 30 minutes total time to totally redo this whole thing. And as I hung it on the wall in my workshop, I had 5 different people come and go, "Where'd you get that cool Halloween picture?" And so literally, to be honest, I do not have any artistic ability when it comes to drawing. I can paint furniture like a queen, but I do not know how to draw. So by taking a current picture and just adding a couple things, I'm just making this lady's dress. It was black, with just a little bit. I didn't have to paint the whole thing over, and I kind of made her dress a little fuller, right? I added a little witch's hat to the one little girl on the left. I'm going to add a witch's hat to this lady right here. It's just a little triangle with a little circle around the bottom. Now, drawing like that I can do. The pumpkins, I just drew circles. It's when you overthink everything, it makes it harder. Because if you think about these pictures that you can find, they really don't even have faces, these people. They're just kind of like smushed on the page I don't know how to explain it. But seriously, a little bit of updating it here and there, it's phenomenal. A couple lines on the pumpkins to give them definition. Grab some white paint, and then I'm like, oh, let's paint some ghost. I don't know how to paint ghost. So I just literally made a little horseshoe with a little bit of a jagged little bottom. I experimented. The first time like this one, I was like, oh, it looks like a whale. So I just let it dry and then just went over and kind of wisped the bottom. So I think what I'm trying to say is have fun with it. This would be a great thing to do with kids too. Go find some old pictures, add some ghostly things to it. Pumpkins, bats, scarecrows, spider webs, witches' hats, broomsticks, the witch flying through the moon, at a moon. I mean, and the thing about this is that it was like a white building. So all I'm doing right now is taking some black paint and just washing the building with black. This building that's in this picture is nice and bright, right? So now it's going to turn to this dark, instead of this bright photo, I am taking black paint and I am making the building dark. I just keep turning the frame so that way it's easier for me to get to and not get my hand into the white paint. But I'm just adding a little bit of paint. You guys, I'm not lying to you when I say I am not an artist. I could never draw this picture in a million years. I barely can make a stick figure. I'm not kidding. Look at my ghost and my pumpkins. But if you're adding already to these pictures, how many of you have an old Thomas Kincaid? You know, we all had them back in the day, like, right? In the 80s and 90s. They were our home decor. Now they're just almost free in a thrift store. I'm not kidding you. You can find them everywhere. This is not some expensive piece of art that somebody drew. It's just an old, funny oil painting. So it had yellow and red flowers. So I thought in the spirit of a ghoulish night, we would want them to be orange and purple. a little bit of a deeper color. So I just dabbed my paintbrush over the top of them. I seriously just dabbed it over the top to get rid of the bright colors. I'm just deepening them. When I made the building darker, it helped it so much. Now it looks like a nighttime scape instead of a daytime one. A little bit of black paint went a long ways. So just adding a little bit of more definition to those pumpkins. And going to add a couple more pumpkins over here, right? They're just round. And then I'll add a little couple lines and a stem. And next thing you know, you've got pumpkins. You know, we don't have to have it be like a Picasso for it to be really cool and for you to figure out how to make something your own. I have probably a 5-foot tall canvas that I need to do also. I would never use the picture in a million years, but I tell you what, I'll use it when I have Halloween stuff on it. Wouldn't that be fun? Just to decorate it and then just not, put it away or just, instead of throwing them away. I'm going to throw away these things anyhow. So why not just make them fun? So the guy walking with here, he doesn't have a face, so to speak. He just has, it had a little mustache. So I'm going to paint his face white. I'm going to give him a purple jacket so it really does stand out. So it's not just this somber thing. The lady behind him, I'm going to add a witch's hat, a triangle with a little semicircle around the bottom to give her a brim. I had to imagine in my head, what does a witch's hat look like? It's as simple as that. It's just kind of shapes. Because these people in this picture don't have faces anyhow. And I was like, oh, perfect. So why not? So yeah, it was just fun just to create it. I remember this trend last year. It was a big trend on social media. So when I finally found the pictures this summer, I thought, I'm saving these. I'm making them for Halloween. There's so many variations out there. But like I said, it'd be a great project to do in a classroom or with just your grandkids or your children. Hey, add a couple ghosts. What about a Frankenstein face? I got to practice that one. That'd be fun. Just things that are easy. These are just shapes. Like the ghost, round with a little tail. Next thing you know, you got ghost, big black eyes. It doesn't have to be exact. And once I got my head wrapped around that, I thought, okay, I can do this. I can just add little doodad things here and there. You could put a little sign that says your name. You can use Sharpies instead of paint if it's easier. If it's easier for you to use like a fine tip Sharpie when you're adding eyeballs and stuff, do it. Nobody needs to know. I just have an abundance of paint, and these are just little artist brushes. I have the skinny long one, and then I have some fat ones. That's how I darkened it. Just going to add a couple lines in those pumpkins to make them look, and stems. Pumpkins got to get stems. I didn't add any leaves or anything. I just added a couple definitions. So instead of looking like orange blobs, they actually kind of look like pumpkins now. I have this hung up when I finished it, like I said, on my wall in my workshop. And I had a bunch of different people say, where'd you get that? That's so cool. And I was like, from far away, it totally looks like a ghoulish city. Like these people are all in there with the ghosts flying around. I was pretty proud of myself. So I hope you guys try this too. Go to the thrift store. Find something. I just left it in the frame. I will eventually take the photo out and paint the frame and just sell the frame. But for now, why not? I thought this would make a great YouTube video, just for fun. I will do some more, but I thought I'd just release this one super quickie. Just grab a variety of colors. Take what you already have, throw a couple ghosts and a couple goblins and maybe a pumpkin with an actual jack-o'-lantern face. That's where a Sharpie would come in really good, like a fine tip Sharpie where you could actually draw the eyeballs and stuff. But this one was such a city scene, I thought, why not? And then I realized that the top up there is a blue sky, and I thought, it's not a blue sky. It's supposed to be at nighttime, right? It's supposed to be ghoulish. So I went ahead and threw a moon up there and then painted some bats on it. Now, I didn't know how to paint bats, but from far away, they look like bats. I just did a dot, a little W on each side, basically a wide W. and I had bats. So kind of think outside of the box. Now for the guy's face on that, I was just painting. I actually painted in his face white, and then I just add 2 dots in like a mouth with lines on it, like a skeleton mouth. So he looks scary. Somebody walked in and said it did look like the Day of the Dead paintings. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you had fun, and I hope you guys have fun. Go find some stuff. I bet you'll look in your back closet and you might actually have an old painting laying around. So added some bats, and I'll let you guys watch the rest of this. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you watching my videos. This is an easy, fun one to do. I hope it just kind of inspired you today to get out there, get out of their comfort zone. Go, you probably got the craft paint in your closet, right? Or like me, I paint furniture, so I have chalk paint. I use my chalk paint. Doesn't matter what kind of paint you use, anything will work. Draw some bats, hang it on the wall. I bet you get a lot of compliments. Wouldn't these be great in like a haunted house too? Like if you changed all the pictures to that in the haunted house. All right, you guys, thanks so much. Remember, every time you watch a video all the way through, it does help my small business stay in business. So thanks once again. Please subscribe to Tona Transformations. I also have Facebook and Instagram. Thank you.